It's the 17th of November 2025, and once again, I steal stuff from wrestling. Graham Banks.
Okay, that what that was. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what there is a luchador named Hechicero who makes it look like because they call him the Wizard of the Ring or something, and he's like, "Woo, fireball." Anyway,
Okay.
yep, that was kind of the reaction I was expecting. So well done for not disappointing. I think there are a few things better than smelling rolls. Like nice fresh rolls at the shops. They smell very nice. Anyway, how's Tricks?
Yeah, not bad. Went to Melbourne for a week, and I'm now back.
Yes, you did.
And I'm going to be going away again in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, go for me.
Yes, so there will be a programming. There is programming note.
A couple of weekends I won't be around, so I'm sure Steve will hold down the fort and do stuff as he normally.
I'll be around. Maybe I'll rope in a mate of mine again, and I don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't put it on the list because it's not worth it. But Fortnite still mid. I don't care what anyone says. That game.
Yeah. So I went to Melbourne for the week, specifically to see Metallica in concert at Marvel.
Was Spider-Man there?
No. What we can actually do is I can do this.
Whoa. Graham's doing something. Wait, are you going to bring Mike into the call again? Oh, okay.
No.
I was going to say, last time you did some playing around, it was like, oh man!
No, so this was, the concert I went to in Marvel. It's like 50 odd thousand. They've been at Perth and Adelaide before this one.
Yes.
They had Brisbane and Sydney afterwards, and they're probably gone now, I imagine, from the country. They might be into New Zealand next, I think. Pretty sure they're in New Zealand next, anyway. So it was an awesome concert. They are absolutely brilliant live. Have you seen them live years ago or not? Okay. I thought you had a.
I've never been that big into Metallica, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, even when I first immersed myself in metal and stuff like that, Metallica always just seemed like,
No. Each their own, of course.
Indeed. I mean, like, you're not going to go see Fit for an Autopsy. Ah!
What the
like
fuck
the
would I do that for? What would I do that for?
Because they're good. How was Evanescence?
Oh, they were good. Yeah, they were really good. I didn't. So Suicidal Tendency with the other group they're on, I didn't go and watch them, but I did watch the Evanescence one. They were really quite good. Yeah.
Who was the other support?
Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh man, that would. Oh, I mean, it depends.
Yeah, each their own. I mean, I didn't buy the ticket to see them, so I didn't really give a shit. But yeah, so it was a hell of a concert.
No mosh pitting.
Oh, well, they're all in front of me there. They're all see there in the front of the front of the photo.
No, I meant you didn't mosh pit.
Oh god, no. I'm too old for that.
I mean, granted, neither do I. But when I went and saw Fit for an Autopsy, it was like a 500, 1,000 person room. So like the difference in pitches and distance and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a hell of a concert. Great show. Yeah, great performance. Like, it's quite like you mean think about how old these guys. Old is a really relative term, of course, but they've been around for 40 plus years now playing, and they've still got a heck of a lot of energy for what they do. So
I imagine not getting wasted constantly and not doing drugs is something that helps with that.
I'm sure that's part of the process now, that they don't do what they used to do, and they're probably way more fitter than they ever were in terms of just keeping their body and all that kind of stuff in good shape.
I've seen
good shape.
I've seen interviews with Hetfield where he talks about like the drug days and stuff.
Yeah.
And Trujillo's like a good 10, 15 years younger than him because he used to play in Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, and his son does, I think, if I recall from an.
I think that's correct.
I think I saw an article about the performance, like the show itself, and they said his son performs in the band he used to be in, sort of thing. So which is pretty neat. So yeah, so it was a hell of a concert. I thoroughly enjoyed it. the weather in Melbourne when I was there was awful, so
It is Melbourne.
which didn't really help. But yeah, it was a hell of a show, and I'm glad I went because it's one of those things where you can spend a shitload of money going to a concert. The tickets weren't that expensive; they were a couple $100, which is.
I was going to say, they're like 250, 280.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously you can pay a shitload more if you wanted to, but that's
Yep.
what I paid for mine, and value for money is obviously awesome, so that was cool.
Stadium shows are always a significant amount of money more than I pay, I think.
Oh, yeah, sure, because I'm much.
I think Lorna Shore, when I saw Lorna Shore, they were between 80 and 120.
Mm.
And that was with To the Grave and Body Snatcher. Which was really funny watching the vocalist from To the Grave try and hype up the mosh pit when there were like 8 people in it.
But yeah, and it was a hell of a concert. Really enjoyed what I did. So yeah. But beyond that, yeah, next Melbourne trip is a freaking work one, so won't have any pictures of that afterwards.
No, that'd be the fucking best. Just take fucking work pictures and come back and go, hey, check this out.
Yeah, this is a great week.
That'd be the funniest fucking shit ever. Oh, god damn it. Any ideas on your next concert?
Not. I mean, if I'd been more alert to what was happening, I probably would have stayed an extra couple of days and gone to AC/DC, who are playing at the MCG on the Wednesday after the day I left, sort of thing. But there's not. Most of the groups that I want to follow, either sadly they're dead because they're old, or they're not touring anymore. So, yeah, there's no one else that I'm aware of that's coming through that I would want to go and see. But yeah, some of the other ones that I've seen before came back again, I'd probably go and see them again. But as I said, most of them they've either given up being a group altogether, or they're getting to where they're not touring.
Touring fucking hurts when you get old.
Oh, it does. I mean, Metallica.
Getting up from a chair hurts when you get old.
But Metallica have been going for like 2 years now, touring after the M72 album came out, or 72 seasons came out. So, like, they've been touring for 2+ years now. Like, that's got to take a shitload of. Like, that's a shitload of your life, off. You get a calendar year, but yeah. So, I can imagine at some point, I'm too old for this shit, and just stop touring. So, yeah. But
the old the Froth and Fury festival intrigues me because like Fifth and Autopsy's playing, Archspire. There's a few bands that I wouldn't mind seeing, but festivals fucking hurt. And I don't know how well some of those bands would translate to the old outdoor festival experience. But we'll see what happens. It's in the big holidays. So maybe if it's close enough and I get bored, it's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. Anyway, anything else?
Nah, that was all. Yeah.
Nah. All right. How about we do what this thing's actually about, and talk about whether or not there's games people should play.
Indeed.
Funny you should have this up because I'm going to be making reference to this.
I saw you all listen. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I was on a plane, so I took a bunch of about half a dozen or so games with me on the ROG. Which is around me somewhere. Behind me on the desk, I think you can probably just see it.
Oh, this is the part that's fun, trying to figure out where you're pointing. I fuck that up all the time on streams.
Yeah, so I took a bunch of games with me, and I played pretty much all of the ones I took, I think. So, first one I played, this is not in any order, but this is the one I played, is the Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3. So I've managed to play that for probably another 45 minutes or so while I was over there. That game is so good. Like, the writing's great, everything about it is great. I finished Act 3, I think, now.
Are you doing much to like replay paths and?
I do that a little bit just to see if you choose a different option with it gives you more stuff to do, like, sort of thing. Because you can give at some points if you play that game, you'll get to essentially like a if we go
dead ends.
Look at this last screenshot there. You've got these 3 options at a particular point. Now, I think in most cases, probably other than choosing the bottom one, the top two probably lead to the same point, I suspect, in a lot of cases. But some cases they'll go to completely different paths, different
Yes.
dialogue, different even different paths altogether. So some will end up the same place, some will end up differently. So if that's the replay bit, I'll go back and go, okay, what if I choose the other option now?
Yeah.
It might end up with the same boss battle, the same battle, but the wording, the dialogue's different. And the dialogue, as I said earlier, is really, really good. So it's worth sometimes doing that just to see what the extra writing is.
My brain doesn't let me go past some of that stuff. Sometimes it's like, like that number's not completed. Oh no, I need to do it again.
And as you're going through the game, I don't think any of the screenshots have it. You pick up things like traits and stuff like that, and some of them are they're just story-based things. You just get them because you beat a particular boss or whatever, or a particular battle. But yeah, I'm still thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, it's one of those games that you can play for 45 minutes and just go, look, I've had my fill, and then go into something else. You could play that for a lot longer, of course. It's just match 3 stuff, but it does kind of where it's working out a little bit too much because you're obviously doing a lot of the same thing. If you're sometimes, even, as I was saying before, you can choose a different dialogue option and have the exact same boss battle, the same battle you had, so you could end up doing it 2 or 3 times in a row just because you want to see all the dialogue options and stuff. So it does get a little bit repetitive, but it's still an awesome game and recommend it to anybody.
The quality on the writing in particular, and the match 3 stuff. I'll get to some match 3. Fuck's sake. When I talk about my game, sorry, but the match 3 stuff's done really well. It takes just long enough to be engaging without it being overtly repetitive.
Yeah.
And like it's fucking fun. It like does the Zelda thing with Link and Dark Link. Except it's JJ and evil JJ.
Yeah.
And it's just evil shoulder bash.
Yeah, so it's as I say, it's a really neat game.
Yep.
Satisfactory for a few minutes just to finish off the last episode that I put up. With me going away, and it's my schedule of releasing those videos is fucking up the window. So
I was curious if you were going to look for try and get one up for this week, but no.
I might, but it'll probably be next week at this point before I head off.
Fair enough.
So that's looking really neat. Drifter, that's another one I played. That's the point and click sort of style adventure game.
Yes.
I played that on the actual flight over, which is really just a good little 45 minutes just on the plane up sort of thing. That game is still really good. Even if it's not, that game goes fucking places too. That storyline is really friggin'. It's really interesting.
In a serious sense, or like in an interesting sense, or both?
A bit of everything, really, in terms of that. At some point when we do our Game of the Year stuff,
it will come up.
This will come up as story because it is a little bit bonkers in places, but still thoroughly enjoying that one. I'd like to think they'll put out another game this group because I think they're like power hoof.
How close are you to the finish?
I actually don't know. I reckon I'm relatively close based on just where I am. So where I'm in the story, but I don't know for sure.
Because it'd be interesting if they do set up something of a sequel or DLC or something like that with the narrative, with the ending, or if they just have it be its own self-contained thing and then they do something else afterwards.
Yeah. Erexholm, The Stolen Dream. That is, I'm enjoying that game as well. It's now gone to the first time where you're playing as 2 characters and flipping between the 2.
Okay.
Up until that, she's been playing as a single character in the environment. So that's adding a different mechanic. Get one player to do something to allow enemy to move somewhere, then the other characters can move around to get out of the environment, sort of stuff. So it's that sort of thing. But yeah, that's a really neat game. I really, really enjoy this one. I think I'm enjoying it slightly more than the previous tactics games because there's less of the I've got to get this character to do this thing, this character to do this thing, and get all the things sequencing out to get it all. It's just because one character does simplify moving through that environment a bit because you just got one character to worry about. So it does make things a little bit.
I wonder how much that holds up, or if it's just more slowly that it actually increases. Between 8.5 and 10.5 hours ish, maybe 12ish for you.
I'm not worried about the game length. Never have been.
No. What I mean by that is, like, from a length perspective, like maybe that it's not necessarily going to include multiple playable characters, so it keeps it a bit more constricted and leaves it a bit more manageable.
Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, it's more of the fact that each level flows a bit quicker.
Yep.
Because you're not flicking back and forth and go, actually, I need to get that character to do that bit, so that character means that can do that bit. Now, having said that, I'm in a bit where I've now got 2 characters that may start doing that a little bit. I don't know. But I think, like, the Shadow Gambit, like, at one point, you're controlling 8 characters in that.
Yeah, that's just borderline fucking overwhelming.
Yeah, like, that just becomes...
Because it all moves in real time. It's like, what?
Yeah, so... Yeah. The Altars, still playing through that. I'm really, really enjoying this game. Yeah, I think what they've set up...
The narrative or the survival-y stuff?
Everything sort of thing, like what you've set up and what you've done. I have actually got to a point where I think I was going to get into a fail state, so I went back a couple of saves. The game saves at the start of every day.
Yep.
So if you lose, like you can technically lose like 20 minutes of time if you have a failed save sort of thing between.
What are the fail states? Outside of like obviously death, but
yeah, I think the fail state I think I was heading towards was that a couple of the characters, like a couple of your altars, had asked you to do certain things, and I just completely forgot to do them effectively because I was doing other things. And I think it'd get to a point where it's heading towards a point. That's why I went back a few saves to sort of reprioritize stuff. That I would run out of resources. That would then lead to the characters getting pissed off to the point where they go, right, I'm done, and they sort of leave, or I don't know.
Would be curious to see that sort of thought process through to see if they actually just go, fuck this.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I thought it was heading. So I thought,
it's not like that planet's easily hospitable.
Yeah, and exactly. So I'm not so sure what the fail state would be. That just looked like I was heading towards one. So I thought, when I realised it was doing save by save, I just went back a couple of days and just sort of redid it a bit to sort of realign myself to what I needed to knowing what I was trying to avoid in the future, sort of thing. So,
yes. You want to leave? Good. Fuck off and leave. See if you survive.
Funny thing was though, when I did that and went back and then started playing forward again, it got to a same decision point, and the game actually knew I'd done that.
Nice.
It actually said, if you basically do what you've just done, here's the choice you made the last time, and it tells you what you did.
That's pretty good.
So it's a neat little mechanic there. So they realise people are going to do exactly what I did because why wouldn't you, sort of thing. Doesn't stop you from doing it. So
years and years of video games have taught us to save scum.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting that they knew people would do it, didn't block you from doing it, but then added a bit of a wrinkle in that we're going to tell you what you did the last time. So
making reference to the fact that you did that.
Yeah, I think is kind of a neat little thing. 2 new games, quote unquote, at the end of my list is Anno 117 Pax Ramata. This is obviously the new one in that series. I will quickly jump to the last screenshot because that's actually my little city that I started to build. So it's one of these games. Like, it's got the same thing. It does do a little bit differently. I think we probably discussed this when we did the demo checkout a while back.
Did we do a checkout of the demo for this?
Maybe you thought
or
about
did you just
maybe,
talk about playing the demo on here?
Maybe I can't remember. I thought we did one, but maybe we just talked about it. Anyway, either way, the residents, they've always got needs of various. We need food. We need this. We need that. In the early part, you've actually got a choice of that they'll want. For example, in food, in the early part, they can either have they want sardines or some sort of crop porridge. I think it was the other one, and you can make either. You make one of them, and that satisfies the need. You don't have to do both. So you can actually, as long as you meet one of the requirements, one of the 2 options, that'll meet the need for food.
So it's a touch less prescriptive.
Yeah, the last touch a little bit, so you've got a little bit more flexibility. Not a lot, obviously. You've only got 1 or 2 choices rather than 1.
You still need to give them one.
Yeah, you still got to give them one thing.
But it does mean meat pies.
But it does mean you can choose which one you want to do, because one might be easier to do than the other one. Doesn't stop you in the future doing the other one and giving them both, which does actually kind of help, because if you then do both, you've then got a more you can actually use it to balance out between the 2, if that makes sense. So if one stops to drop in production, you can then increase the other one, sort of thing.
There's also the possibility that the second choice might be a different group's choice as well.
Correct. Yeah, so you got a bit.
So
of
you're covering your bases a little bit more.
Exactly. So, but it's really neat. The story so far is incredibly rote, but it's something playing as a character. His name escapes me.
Caesar.
Marcia, I think her name is. I think you can choose between a male and a female character. And it plays out slightly different in their story, but the same sort of story beats happen. Yeah, so it's a little bit. I don't think the story is anything what you come to these games to play. So
No, fuck. I don't. Yeah, I can't imagine someone coming to a game like any sort of city builder or resource management game like this and goes, "I'm here for the narrative.
yeah,
Let's put it on the easy difficulty so I can't die."
Mm. With this a sandbox in Illinois, which at some point I will probably jump into once I've sort of used the campaign to understand the game a lot more than what I currently do. So, I'm playing with a controller on PC. Controls really, really quite well. Right triggers brings up a couple of radio menus. You choose what you want to do. You build. Placing buildings and roads using thumbsticks works surprisingly well. Obviously, it's not as fiddly, quote unquote, as Satisfactory is playing with controller. So yeah,
doing slightly different things a little bit, plus the 3D-ness of Satisfactory.
Correct. Yeah.
How is it like? Have you tried it with the mouse and just like? Is it? I mean, obviously the mouse would be a little more precise, but is the sort of schism between the precision of the mouse and the maybe slightly lack of precision?
I don't think
not as pronounced
because of the nature of the game. I don't think that's really as
pronounced
as you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
And you've also got the ability with the game now to move things. If you plonk a building down, you go, shit, I put it one block away from where I want it to be. You basically, in control, you press A and just drag it to where you want to move it. It just moves it. So you don't have to destroy and rebuild. You just move what you want, sort of thing. There might be some limits to that. I don't know. I haven't found any so far, but a couple of times I've put down a couple of the buildings and thought, shit, that's missed my alignment by one, because it's all grid based. Yep. Oh shit, I'll drag and drop it. Basically, drag and drop it, and it moves into the right spot. So
I feel like if it doesn't give you that opportunity to move it, they've completely fucked it.
Yeah. But
it's on console too, isn't it?
Yes, it's on basically everything. Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to.
It's on.
I was going to say Switch 2. It'd be like the mouse controls on the Switch 2 with this. I mean, it wouldn't be that different from a PC, but
yeah, I mean, you could definitely do it based on the. Yeah. You could do it with either Switch because it's got control support. But also that little funny mouse thing they've got with theirs with Switch 2 would probably work okay.
Even if that thing's a fucking piece of shit for him. Well, I can't personally say if it's a piece of shit for a mouse, but it seems like it would be.
It doesn't look like it would be a good one for me, but yeah. Certainly not very ergonomic, considering the design. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it.
It's reviewed fairly well as the Open Critic.
Yeah.
There states.
Yeah. Still fairly expensive, like $90 Australian. But
it is an Ubisoft game.
It is an Ubisoft game, but also it's a game you're going to potentially play for
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of, have hundreds of hours.
Hundreds even.
Yeah, so it's not exactly.
The thing I'm curious of is how many hours you could get to of this before Game of the Year. If you crack triple digits before Game of the Year. I can't see it with like Satisfactory and all that shit. But
I do have 4 weeks off at Christmas, so it's entirely possible.
Fuck yeah!
So it is possible that I'll get a lot more gaming. I mean, this is the most gaming I've done in a week.
Yeah.
For months, because I've literally had nothing else to do. And the same thing will be when I go away for that other week. Is you got your 9 to 5 time in the working. When you get back to the hotel, you've got none of the distraction. I don't have to worry about keeping the house.
Why the fuck did you air quote working? Are you not going to be working, Graham?
No, not really.
Fucking A!
But yeah, I mean, obviously when you're obviously at home, you've got your house to do stuff around. You've got outside stuff.
Maybe you do.
You've got to look up. You've got to keep your house tidy, mate. Surely you do that.
It's tidy enough.
If it didn't do that, you've got to do it at some point. If you didn't do a lot of it, you still got to do it.
Let it stack. No one else comes here anyway, so fuck it.
But yeah, what am I getting? There's more stuff to do around you when you're living at home. So,
living in a hotel, some other fuck cleans that.
Basically, yeah. So most of the time you just go, oh shit, I'll go get some tea. Now I've got 3 hours to do, and the TV. I mean, in a hotel.
Hotel TVs are shit, and they don't offer much anyway.
They don't offer, and if they do, they say, "Oh, we've got Netflix," and but you got to use your own account. I'm not logging into this device with my own fucking account. Fuck that. So,
Mate, you think that's bad? Try being in a fucking hospital for like 5 days in a row with no TV access.
yeah, well, yes.
That was fucked.
My last game is Titan Quest 2. Now I've got some own screenshots. This which we're going to. This is a. I did not play the first one, so this is basically a Diablo style game.
Yep. The first one came out like 99, I want to say.
Yeah, it's a while ago, I think. So, it's currently in early access, and the reason why I picked it up at this particular point was that they just released a new bunch of content for it. Because obviously being in early access, they're adding stuff as they go along.
And they upped the price upon doing so as well.
Yes, which is the other reason why I bought it just before they put the price up. So my price I paid was not the $50.95 that we're seeing now on the video version. It was $5 less. It wasn't exactly a big difference, but yeah. But it's one of these games. So you've got your standard stuff. You've got ranged weapon. Obviously, you've got your big boss battles. You have to have.
Click on shit and it blows up.
Yeah, basically you got that. Now this one does have. This is my own screenshots now. Just looking at what we're looking at here. They've got this concept of masteries, which I think is kind of similar to, I can't remember what the terminology the version of it in Diablo, but I think it's got a similar thing where you basically can spend points in a particular type of character or character trait sort of thing. So I went for Rogue for my first one. I've now unlocked the second one, which I've done, I think I did Earth. And when you do that, you get level-based options. So you got level 1, level 6, 16 and 30. Then these things unlock as you go along. You can put points into them to beef them up in terms of what damage they do. You then put points into renamed versions of health, armor, strength, that kind of stuff, but different names for the same thing.
Controller or mouse and keyboard?
I'm doing this on controller.
Okay.
Standard stuff for picking up items. You can't pick up some things if your inventory's full. Standard sort of stuff from that.
Can you filter so you're not getting surfaced like grey common shit?
I haven't seen that, but I'm looking for that kind of stuff in the various options. I haven't seen it yet.
Might not be in there yet.
No, maybe it's not, because one of the irritating things that I had was, like, you can see on the screen here, like your characters, in my particular character at the moment, I've got 2 one-handed weapons. I've got a knife and a sort of an axe kind of thing. So when you bring up an item that can go in either left or right, you get this compare thing.
Yep.
But the compare to bring up under controller is left stick in and right bumper, which I think is a really awkward really awkward thing to do. There was an option in the menu to make it so that when you did do the compare, it put it on and stayed on, rather than being it was like you had to have it on. Sorry, you had to have it in and on all the time to make it the compare stay up, which I think was really bad. So now they've got one where I just put once and it toggles on, toggles off sort of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say there might be a toggle option, but yeah. You might, so FlyDigi, slightly unrelated. FlyDigi's got the Veda 5 Pro coming out before the end of the month. They're doing an Xbox version, and it's got 2 additional face buttons, which you can use to map to L3, R3. So that might be something to look into.
The Elite controller's already got it with the back pedal, so...
I was wondering about the back pedals if you're using back pedals.
Eventually get around to setting. I've been meaning to do it for quite a while now on that controller to set the back pedals up.
Macros and shit. Yeah.
Macros to be the equivalent buttons, because I just find left stick in, right stick in, incredibly awkward thing to do.
Apparently, FlyDigi's consumer front-facing stuff has been a little bit less than stellar recently. So,
standard sort of map stuff as you expect.
It's fucking one of them.
Yeah, so I mean, it does look really neat. Your it's based in Roman sort of time, so not that really means a lot, considering you're fighting freaking crabs and skeletons.
Oh, hey, Nemesis is in Hades too.
You're fighting crabs and skeletons and stuff, so the time frame doesn't really make a lot of difference when you that sort of scientific sci-fi sort of stuff. But it's okay. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I knew it came out, but I didn't realize it came out relatively so short a time ago.
Yeah, it's only in August when it came out in
Access.
Yeah, so it's been
I thought it came out a lot.
Yeah, it's
later
been out
than
for
that,
a couple of months. So as I said, they just put a second content drop in. I'm
Mm.
not that sure what that content drop was, but as you said earlier, that was when they were going to trigger out of to put the price up, which they've been upfront about on
Yeah.
their page. They said we're going to go up. The price is going to go up in stages as we get closer to 1.0. So this was the
It's
first
why
of those.
reading that. It's why reading that early access documentation on those game pages are really valuable.
Yeah.
To see what their plans are, roughly how long. They're saying right now a year in early access,
Yep.
but it could be more. Fingers crossed it doesn't turn into a hyperlight breaker situation and the team gets all basically laid off and it doesn't come out.
Yep.
But yeah.
But yeah, that is my half dozen or so games.
Yeah, it was weird going in to like make a list, like put my games in, and I was like, holy fuck. Graham's got like half as many games as I do.
Yeah.
And I've got like quite a decent list.
Yeah.
As per the usual.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing like having no other distractions to focus on this sort of stuff. So
yeah, fuck us.
Fuck us.
Sound like Mike all of a sudden. Oh, what the fuck I say?
All right, your list.
All right. So my list is, as is quite the norm, is fairly considerably longer than yours. So let's get down to brass tacks. I have finished Fretless. Finished it in just over 6 hours. Missing 5 achievements, but is what it is. It pretty much everything I said last time holds true. The aesthetic is fantastic. They embed the musical elements in damn near every facet of the game in a way that's really fun and interesting. The writing's great. The combat I really enjoyed. It's not that hard, but it provides enough of a challenge sort of veneer on top to make it interesting throughout. And it provides a solid escalation to a boss fight, like a final boss fight, which final boss fights are really hard to pull off.
What is the combat again? Is it
turn-based?
Turn-based?
Turn-based timing, kind of like Mario RPG.
Okay, yep.
I did hold off on this a little bit after finishing Clair Obscur because while they're not exactly the same game, turn-based RPG with timing mechanics, there's a bit of similarity there.
Yeah.
The last boss fight does maybe go a bit long by the end of it, but they do a good job of like escalating to it. I think if I'm going to drop some criticisms on it, it beats the fuck corporations drum pretty hard and pretty over the head. Which, look, there's barely a better time to say fuck corporations than now, but it also does sort of fall into some pretty well-worn stereotypical tropes. It justifies it, but there's still some tropes in there.
Yep.
I got a soft lock during the quote-unquote Battle of the Bands section where I'd finished the fight and it just didn't progress.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's not great. So I just Alt F4'd out, redid it, and it worked fine. Happened in the next game I got up to a couple times. It is quite linear in its progression. Like, it's fairly straightforward. There's not a massive amount of exploration, and it does make things maybe a touch straightforward. But fuck all that. It's great. Particularly if you have any inkling of an interest in guitar-driven music. Like, even like you get a synthesizer that you can use as a weapon, and it's still really interesting to use. And it like does tweak. It does make the music a little bit more varied. And each of the weapons have their own benefits, which make them fun to like experiment with. You asked me last time, is it worth it? The price of admission, $22 Australian. Absolutely, it's worth it. Some reviews did state on launch there were some bugs, which I could totally see given I had a soft lock. But it seems to be in a pretty good place now, and I think that justifies my holding off on playing games until a little bit after launch.
No, absolutely.
Maybe not my decision to buy so many games on launch, but hey, we can't be perfect. You know what? Speaking of games that are almost perfect, how you like that for a segue? Doom the Dark Ages, like I finished it before we recorded today. It's fucking phenomenal. It is almost at the 2016 Doom bar. I think this is better than Eternal. I think the weight of the combat, while there's still it's still quite fast in the movement, there's a real heft behind what you do, and particularly as you upgrade the weapons and you get more of the systems down, particularly when you get the timing of the parry. I mean, it's 2025. You almost can't have a game in 2025 without a parry, seemingly. But I think it works well. I think they justify it well enough to make it still fun and interesting to play through the whole way. It does the Doom thing where it's written well, but it's fucking stupid. They hold that all the way through to the end, including the kings. There's a king. He's got a big fuck off mech. That mech has a cape. I don't know why. It just does. It's pretty neat. I have finished it. I have got all the achievements on it. It is going to do very well, at least in my personal top 10. And I think there's a few spots it can do really well during Game of the Year. Some people did complain a little bit about the dragon missions being a little bit repetitive and stuff like that. I enjoyed them. Yeah, I think there's some decent variety with the dragon, with the mech missions, things like that. They go on generally just long enough to not wear out their welcome for me. Obviously, other people's mileage will vary, but I think it's phenomenal. And it also justifies my decision to buy this, which I bought before I played because I'm like, I like Doom. Doom's pretty good. I hope the Dark Ages is good. And it justified that decision to buy that Dark Ages controller. So yeah, played Doom. I mean, it's AAA, so it's a bit on the expensive side, 110, 120. 120 actually. I bought the Deluxe Edition, which has the price of the DLC in. I don't know if I can go back to Doom Eternal for that Ancient Gods DLC because they're such different games, but might get to it at some point. Wow, this one's kind of a bummer, really. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. One of the Souls-likes that came out this year. This one's from China, as you can tell by Lenzi China as the developer. Or Lenzi Games. Sorry, I was reading it. I don't know why. Whatever. Moving on. It feels like there's a bit of stripped back, or the developers have tried to strip back some of the complexities that the Souls-like has added over the years. There isn't the universal block or parry like a lot of games have. Some weapons do come with that ability, but some don't. Your main universal defense mechanism is a dodge. Which is what it was in, I think, in the first few Souls games. Bloodborne has a parry with the gun, but I never used it because I don't think I get the timing down. But this one works a little different because if you dodge too early, you'll still get hit. Like a lot of Souls games, you'll be able to dodge as you see the swing back coming. And you'll be able to put yourself in a position to, if not dodge again, but still somewhat be out of the way. This is very much based on specific timing of dodge at the right time in the attack, which without having that parry there kind of makes it a bit of a bugbear, a bit of a bother. But you can be, well, I didn't think you could be as aggressive as you can in like a Kazan or some other games like that. But you can be, it just depends on the weapon you use. There's a madness mechanic where if anyone who's played these sorts of games knows when you die, you drop your currency, your souls. And then if you die getting back to them, you lose them all. That's just how this goes. The more you die in Wu Chang, the more madness gets built up, which as you build madness, you do more damage, but you also take more damage. And if you die, you don't automatically lose all of the souls. I can't remember what they actually call the currency. But if you hit full madness, when you go to pick up the souls, a fucking demon comes out and fucks you up, and you have to fight it. And if you die to it, which I only had it happen once in the time I played it, it killed me, and then it was all gone, which made me a sad panda. But whatever. I think there's, like I said, there is an attempt to streamline the Souls experience. Like you can set and reset skill points, socket items, things like that. But there's a lot of density around some of the mechanics, concepts, and ideas that shit's not explained very well. Like, and it's not about a tutorializing, even just from a lore perspective or from like some sort of written perspective. Like, you get to what the bonfire equivalents, which are basically like a campfire thing, and it says like instead of like rest or whatever, I think it might say rest, but it also then says enter the dream, and there's text that follows that says allows you to progress the main story, and it's like, what? That doesn't happen in other games like this. I don't know if it's the Chinese nature of the developers and then the translation into English tweaked it a bit. But yeah, I was really quite confused about quite a lot of things. Speaking of L3, there's a mechanic called Swift Draw, where if you've got two weapons equipped, you can click L3 and it'll switch weapons and you go into an attack, which you can accidentally and unintendedly do during boss fights.
Yeah. Which is why I never liked that mechanic or that control option, because you could just pushing down the thumbstick might be enough to push it in the thumbstick, and then all of a sudden you've done an action you had no intention of doing.
Particularly when you're in the throes of a fucking complicated or decent fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hit a few times that happening against the boss, but I ended up beating the boss I was on. It all looks very nice. Like I think it's Unreal Engine off the top of my head, so it looks really quite nice from a graphical perspective. There are some problematic presentations of the treatment of women in this game. Like given the time period, yeah, there's an extent to which you expect that, but even some of the costumes you put Wu Chang in. So Wu Chang's a lady pirate that has one eye. And there's the feathering, which is a madness-based insanity sickness where feathers get stuck to your arm, and over time you get insane and start turning into a monster and killing people. I don't know. But like some of the costumes you can change her into are just like very low cut, very revealing, very jiggly. And I was like, oh yeah, this really was not made in a modern Western society, was it? Looking at some of the reviews, some of the things made me even more concerned though, because like some difficulty spikes. Yep, that's bound to happen. It's one of these games. Sort of, but the difficulty spikes relied more on frustration than they did cleverness, design, combat, like skill check difficulties, things like that. The maps being somewhat confusing and laid out in different weird ways. That made traversing them and trying to figure out where to go, because it does seem a little samey in those environments when you're in them. So trying to figure out which path you need to go to, where it goes, you could just end up running in circles if you're not paying the most attention. And borrowing some not so great elements of other Souls games that the genres move past. So like PC Gamer mentioned in particular, a few hours into Wu Chang, I was tiptoeing across wooden planks in a poison-filled area that might as well be Dark Souls Blighttown. Blighttown is a motherfucker. That second sentence is not from that quote. But it's basically a very dark, drab area, a lot of poison lakes that's very easy to fall into and very easy to build poison and die. Like you get like apparently a lethal effect status builds over time, which was done in another Souls game, but it hasn't been done really too much since. And like apparently a few reviews also mentioned forced necessity for certain build types to avoid damaging or getting damaged or being able to progress certain areas, which that pisses me off. Because if you're going to give me the freedom to make a build, at least let it be usable or viable enough for me to, if I have the skill level, to get past it. Not fucking, yeah. Look, I've got 2.2 hours in it. That's all I've played thus far. I could try and bash my head against it to get to a point where maybe I will like it. But with so many other things I want to play, nah. It might, much like Stellar Blade, I might go back to it before the game of the year if there's time, but nah. Still chipping away at Hades 2. It again, because the first one is the first one, it's less impressive the second time through, and I'm not really feeling the draw to go back and play it as often. I play it more on my laptop. I haven't played it on the big machine at all. It's good. I think the fucking reviews are over the top. Like, yeah. I don't think it, because of how good the first one is, I think 96% overall as an average, that's fucking insane. But anyway, the Rogue Prince of Persia, I've been chipping away at that. I think I might be close to finishing the story element of it. It's neat. It's cool. I ain't got much more to say about it than that I haven't already said before. I'm still enjoying the playing of it. Some of the achievements are kind of fucking ridiculous, though. Like, it's just the sort of bronze, silver, gold of a few different things, like unlocking outfits, weapons, applying status effects. And some of the numbers are fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm at 7.6 hours, and I think if I have a good run and get through through to the last boss, it'll finish the story. Because I've already beaten him once, and the event that's meant to happen, seemingly that indicates the end of the story, I'm on. So we'll see I'll maybe chip away at that a little bit more, and we'll see what happens there. But no. I've started into Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. The first of the Ninja Gaiden games to come out this year. I'm not going to play 4. Well, at least I'm not going to buy 4. Well, at least not at full price. It's a pretty good one. Like, it's not as fucked hard as the NES original Ninja Gaiden. Let's get that out of the way right now. But I like the pixel art on it. It animates really, really well for the most part. The combat, the level traversal, the platforming, all of that stuff is really quite fun, and for the most part, seems really fair. I did run into I guess for lack of a better term, a secret section that I wanted to throw something. Because there's so the two characters that are on the key art, one is a member of the Black Spider gang. One is a very noble and heroic ninja. There's a part in the game where you take a magic dagger that allows you to embody or capture the soul of whoever you stab with it, to the point where I can technically sort of semi-control 2 characters at once. And if some of the platforming sections rely on it's not Ryu Hayabusa, it's a different dude. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. You trap yourself, and it reveals hidden platforms that she has to do, but it's timed. Like, you have a meter that runs down, and there's power-ups that increase it. And the number of times I was getting really close to the end, but it was very specific and very precise in what you needed to do to get to the very end point, and just running out of time. Fuck, I was ready to throw some shit. It was doing my head in. But I'll go through it. Much like Doom, the Dark Ages, I'm going through this couple of levels at a time. Not annoying, but it is what it is. I've got Shinobi, the Shinobi game that came out a couple weeks after this, and Hollow Knight Silksong still on deck. And I don't think I want to try and play 2 games of the same type. So it'll be, okay, maybe I'll start either Strange Antiquities or Dying Light the Beast, and then get done with this, then Shinobi, then Hollow Knight. But we'll see how things go. It's neat, though. I don't know. I'm digging it when I'm not fucking getting infuriated by some parts. We'll see how that holds up, though. A game we looked at for a checkout. Have you ended up playing the full version of this yet?
No. I was really surprised to see it on your list.
I didn't mind what we played of it, and
I didn't think I did enough to go and, mind you said earlier you buy games when you don't really need to, but so yeah,
I did that a lot.
Didn't think you'd actually come back to this one.
I enjoyed what we played for that enough, particularly in the first couple of levels of that playtest, to be like, okay, I'll give this a run. I technically think I like real-time strategy games. I suck at most of them, and this just confirms again, I tend not to get very far in them. And I like the sort of 3D action games as well, which this combines the two. Chipping Claws versus the Brainioids. So for those who haven't seen the checkout, you get brain-like aliens that have invaded Earth to steal all of the brainium. They really busted themselves trying to think of that. You, Chip, you have built a robot named Claws, and you fend off the invasion. You can be either Chip or Claws. Chip can overdrive robots and buildings to make them output or do better. Dude, that's fucking so vague. Either you overdrive a building to produce more robots more quickly, or you overdrive individual robots to make them perform more efficiently, perform quicker. Claws can repair. So there's the difference there. Like I said, melds sort of action and RTS stuff. I got a few missions in. I got to the penultimate challenge mission of Act 1 and got really annoyed in that mission. And then the boss just fucked me off to such a degree that I uninstalled it. It just didn't feel like I had enough resources or the ability to get the resources I need to build the offensive units, build the buildings, all that sort of stuff I needed, because trying to do some of the objectives around the map just left my HQ wide open, and the boss just sort of gets around in this circle.
Okay.
And I could not, for the fuck of me, get to a point where I could build enough like workers, miners, offensive units, defense units, things like that, to be in a position to either effectively attack the boss. There's a healing station for the boss that you get given like 10, 15 minutes to try and deal with. So trying to deal with that ended up being fucked. And the boss just rolls around and at like certain points in the map just bloop, drops a bunch of enemies that come through and fuck your shit up. So like I was just bashing my head against it. Like I could not figure the timing of it out. The challenge level I got through because I just got ultra aggressive. Found a spot because there was a timed bridge raising and dropping. Where obviously you're on one side, the enemy's on the other, but there was a path I could take to get over the other side and start dropping a bunch of buildings. Go, all right, fuck you, go. And just steamrolled them that way. Like, trying to be ultra aggressive in the boss level, though, just left me fucked. Like, the HQ was just getting pounded, and I couldn't figure out how to deal with it. And it just because I just can't get that strategic element working, or the anxiety of not being able to crush the healing station and trying to deal with that just ended up just like me really not enjoying it after a point. So I was like, fuck this, which is a shame. It reviewed really well. I enjoyed playing the first, like, I don't know, 2/3 of Act 1. And then I ran into that and I'm like, oh, fuck you. So I haven't played it since. People who are better, who I guess maybe mentally better suited to real-time strategy games and the like, will probably get more out of this than I did. Because every time I try and play an RTS, I get a few missions in and go, I can't figure this out. This is fuck. Anyway. Something I can get my head around, though, is shooting dudes. Metal Eden, which is a really nice-looking first-person shooter. From Raycon Games. If you remember, it was I can't remember the name of it now. I think a top-down cyberpunk shooter, not Ruiner. From a few years ago, they made that. You play as Asuka, who is this lady here in the key art. And you are like a hyper. They call you a hyper unit, which is kind of like an ultra cyborg. That's kind of like an ultra mobile RoboCop, and that you're also sort of a police officer. Your consciousness can be transferred between units should one die. The story, at least early on, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Fuck it, I'm just running around shooting dudes. Let's do that and follow the objective marker. It eventually made more sense. And again, fuck corporations. Because it is cyberpunk and all. You can rip out, because the enemies you're fighting are also robotic, you can rip out cores and either use them as grenades, or you can consume them to heal yourself and then charge a punch that will fuck up an enemy shield. So you get some options. It looks really, really nice. I like the sound design for the most part. There's some decent music, sort of dubsteppy a little bit. The voice acting, mostly fine, but there's this character that constantly talks to you whose name is Nexus, and that dude is a fucking creep. Like, he sounds like the sort of dude who would hide in the cyber bushes outside of an android's apartment, beating it while he's talking to them through a phone. Like, he's very unpleasant, but then you get to give him his, so yeah, fuck him. it's not groundbreakingly original. There's not a massive scope here, particularly when you look between this and Doom: The Dark Ages. But it's a quarter of the length. I finished it in just shy of 5.5 hours. It's really fun to play. It's got a fantastic aesthetic. The narrative is fucking cyberpunk. So it's like, yeah, fuck corporations. I don't know. It does set up something of a sequel, maybe DLC. But both Chipping Claws and Wu Chang received a stronger critical reception, and I did not enjoy either of them as much as this. But the consensus on Wu Chang is way more scattershot and way more all over the place. Easy Delivery Company. Basically, this is looks like a PlayStation 1 game. You're a little cat thing. I don't know. You drive a truck where you deliver things in a creepy environment. And you find out things are weird. It's a real sort of riff on the gig economy. Like the Uber and all that sort of stuff. There is more to it than that. It gets fucking weird. But I think the delivery... let me rewind 2 steps. I could go into some of what makes it really weird, but I think it's worth playing to discover that. Because it's revealed and presented in a really interesting way. The PS1 aesthetic is really nice. There's not much in the way of audio design from a musical perspective. It's sort of a little more atmospheric. You get more truck engine, you get more birds. There is some atmospheric music that plays on a radio and occasionally some news that's just like dub, 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 like a Star Fox. I ended up just going, okay, cool, and just put some Tupac on while I was driving around this truck. So driving around delivering shit, listening to gangster rap. The handling of the truck works really well, and it's really quite fun to get it around. There's some really weird shit that, like, some secret stuff that I read an achievement guide after finishing the game. I ran credits getting 2 of the 3 endings. I used the guide to get the third one. But there's a Morse code sequence that when you get the numbers, you can interpret into a hexadecimal sequence coded message where you decode it into a hexadecimal sequence, grouped, convert it to binary, 8 rows of 8 bits, reveals a message. And clearly, I'm not smart enough to do that. I read that in the guide.
Was it even in the game that was even a thing you could do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has all that stuff about hexadecimal. It has all that stuff in the game to tell you to do
it. It doesn't actually surface that to you. It's one of those things where the developer, like the Steam page, literally said, "Absolutely, certainly, not any secrets to discover."
Oh, okay, so it's one of those games.
So it made it pretty clear that there's a bunch of secrets to discover.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's neat. It's awesome that shit's in there. I don't understand any of it. That's a really weird open critic score, -1. I'm not going to talk too long about Arc Raiders. Me and a mate of mine played it. We weren't going to. He decided he wanted to, so we did. It's way less... There's way less people being assholes and just killing you playing it. Like, you can use the voice chat and just go, "We're friendly, don't shoot!" And you can, like, group up with people and, like... do the shit, and like people are nice and helpful. We did run into a few people who shot us, and I may have dropped and tried killing a person who I thought shot a big robot and brought it over, but they didn't. So then all them turned around and put their guns on me. So I accidentally put us in some shit. The quest system that's in there is neat, but it takes a while to progress through the quest because you can only get one at a time.
Okay.
And you have to go out, do it, come back, and then you get the next step. Which sometimes the quest can only require 30 seconds on the surface.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah.
Which, I don't know. It's one of those. This one is probably better designed than most. And the community has been really cool. Which is the neat thing about it. 2 more. And weirdly enough, they're linked. I spoke about Match 3 because I played some Puzzle Quest the Model Edition. And holy fucking fuck does that not hold up. There's updated visuals which, you know, when you go to websites and see ads for mobile games that aren't mobile games or they're fake ones, or it presents it, yep, it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that looks like a fake-ass mobile phone game in that image. So, yeah. It's standard fantasy bullshit, which I forgot how standard fantasy bullshit the actual writing was.
So which one's been this a re-release of the old original?
This is a re-release and a remake of one with all the DLC for one.
Oh, okay.
The text, like a lot of the presentational shit, just seems really, I don't know, cheap. And very stock standard. The sound design is fucking awful. Because the music's your standard fantasy plinking, but it's super repetitive. But there's a sound that is made when you match mana, and it fucking sounds terrible.
Okay.
Like, I had forgotten a lot about Puzzle Quest, and maybe retrospect, it was just like, hey, Puzzle Quest is great.
And it was. It was pretty.
It was at the time. It was.
It really was. Yeah.
The unfortunate part is times have moved on, and other developers have done a shitload better job than kind of match 3, like taking Bejeweled and then putting it into a visual novel, which is kind of what this is. Like, I have written a whole bunch more down. I don't want to give, you know what? Like, I don't want to give this any more air because this is way better. Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 1 Re-Rapted. You find out why it's called Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion. Because there's a creepy redneck cloning dinosaurs in a mansion. Weird. It's super clever in how it's written. And like almost all of the art is from the original game, from 3. Which is really weird, referring to a 3 as the original game when this is 1. This does... So Jack Breyer is referenced in 3 as this super special agent that JJ is trying to follow. You play as him in this, but like it's got fantastic writing that both creates an original, unique narrative, but also then just completely obliterates the fourth wall and dances all around the bricks. Like it does super well at basically taking everything that's great about 3. It's pretty short. It's like 2 hours, and I think I basically 100%ed it. There aren't any achievements. But as a continuation of 3, and as a sort of side story that sort of provides a little bit more context and is just a nice little bite-sized thing to get into, it's really neat, well-made one of those. $14.50, absolutely worth it for the quality of the writing, for match 3 gameplay that is shitloads better than Puzzle Quest, although I did get a little too used to matching 4 or more and getting an extra turn in Puzzle Quest, and not getting that here was kind of, But otherwise, fantastic. Yeah, anyway, last one. I don't normally talk about games I played on the shows, on the streams. This one I needed to. It Takes a War. It's $8.79. I played through this. It's like, 45 minutes long. It presents itself as a fucking terrible, well, not, that's a bit harsh, a not so great version of Counter-Strike. But there's really interesting, like, narrative voiceover as you're playing. Like, there's other characters that are talking through voice chat, and it goes, like, really weird places. And then it gets into this sort of friendship dynamic conversation, like idea that hit maybe a little too close to home. But it's super well written. I think it's worth a look for people who have that, like, any sort of interest in well written, interesting narratives. It does it in a very unique and interesting way. The achievements are super clever. Like, there's shit in the environment, in the levels that you interact with in different ways, and you get achievements for it. Like, there's a bell that shows up. In some rounds, there's a bell that shows up behind this water fountain. You shoot it, and you get an achievement that's ding, and the description is dong. So I think that's pretty neat. For less than $9, this is totally worth it. And it does such a good job of telling its story in a way that explores, for lack of a better term, mental health in a way that's not massively global, but a little bit more individualized. I really dug what it did, even if it did fuck me up a little. Anyway, games played. What about programming note? Great time to do it halfway through the show. You're not here. All right. How about I rephrase that? The next two podcasts technically aren't podcasts because you won't be here. No.
The next one I won't be here for.
Yes. And then it's the week after that, which would have been a video of some kind. Yes, right. So 2 Sundays, you're not going to be.
Basically, two recording sessions, I'm not here.
Yes. So I'll do something. So as a result of that, we're going to miss the discussion of the games of December. So let's do that. Weirdly enough, there's at least one game we're going to talk about for the third time. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It is a beat 'em up belt action game like the Ninja Turtles game and stuff like that, but there's a bunch of Marvel dudes in it. I played the demo. It's sure as shit one of those, and it's pretty great. Moving on. iRacing Arcade is a game that's way better than it probably has any right to be. It's from the developers of Circuit Superstars.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Who are also making, I think they have Karting Superstars in early access. They had to bail on development of Karting Superstars to get money coming in by doing this. The iRacing people contracted them to make this game. Again, I played the demo. It's exactly what it says on the box. It's an arcadey version of iRacing, which is great for me because I fucking suck at racing games properly. And this is neat and fun. Unbeatable. This got a delay like 3 days after we did the last podcast. So it's now coming out on the 9th of December, at least this time. We talked about it last time. It looks like it should be really neat. Speaking of games that got delayed after we did the fucking podcast, for the third time, maybe the third time's a charm and it actually comes out. 12th of December, Terminator 2D, No Fate. It's a side-scrolling sort of beat-em-up-y action take on the Terminator 2, which some call one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't know if I agree necessarily with that, but it's a pretty great movie. That's it for the games of December. Obviously, there's more.
There's more stuff coming out, but yeah, they're the ones we've picked out. But yeah. Unlike the last couple of years, there hasn't been a sort of like a really big or biggish game that gets put in December for no apparent reason.
Technically, Metroid Prime 4 does fit that bill. We just, neither of us have a Switch 2 or neither of us care about Metroid Prime. So, but there are other indie games I've got on a wish list and things like that, but I didn't want to bring them up here. Because who fucking knows if they're any good. How about we begin the end? Twitch.tv/Enemy Starship is where I do streaming business. If you give us a follow over there, you'll get yourself an email notification when I go live to play video games and say stupid shit on the internet. There is also youtube.com/@ShouldIPlayThisGame64, which I'm very happy we were able to make that change because that to me is very funny. You had a episode of Solo Factory go up last week. I looked at or checked out Arc Raiders and The Simpsons in Fortnite, which, outside of it being in Fortnite, that Simpsons shit's pretty cool.
We should be doing a split fiction next weekend, all things being equal.
I wonder how close we are to finishing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're close at all.
I think we're like halfway-ish.
I think halfway should be my guess. So yeah, we've got that next weekend. As we said earlier, I'm away the following 2 weekends after that, so we might come back for technically a podcast in the second weekend of December. I think I'm back on deck. Maybe the third weekend of December, actually, now I think about it. Technically. Second or third, something like that. We'll come back for a couple more
I think
podcasts.
technically... so you said 7th you're out.
Yeah, so it'll be the
14th?
Yeah, the 14th. And that should be a podcast episode.
Yes, it should be.
Yeah.
And I finish work the week after.
So I finish work that week. That is my last week of work that week. So we'll do stuff after that. We'll either we'll put stuff together. We might do some end of the year thing. Who knows what we'll do? But yeah, we'll do a couple more episodes, and then we're probably going to have one more video weekend, because then after that is Christmas. So yeah, we'll figure stuff out. But we'll keep on. We'll let everyone know various streaming things that we do collectively or singly. And
I'll do stupid shit through the holidays, because it's what I do. Anyway, but that's a few weeks away from now. So keep an eye on YouTube for Split Fiction next week, all things being equal. And yeah, come back. Won't be in a couple weeks.
Yeah, make it 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
4 weeks,
4 weeks, something like that. We'll be back.
Woo! We'll be back with the podcast, I don't know, in a few weeks' time. But for now, thanks for hanging out. Graham, thank you once again.
All good.
And yeah, let's end this thing and, I don't know, hang out and play video games. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye.